Tokina 85mm f1.8 versus Sony 85mm f1.8. 85mm is my favorite focal length for portraiture. The shallow depth of field is phenomenal, and I insist to keep a prime 85mm lens in my backpack whether I'm going on a hike or to a photoshoot. So in this video guys, we'll compare Tokina 85mm f1.8 side by side with the Sony that cost an extra $200. So you make up your mind which lens suits you the best. These lenses are sometimes on sale. Check the links down below, you might find a good deal. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Oma and let's get started. In this photoshoot, I worked with the talented violinist Lila and we made some good images in Dubai. Well, I would say, indeed with the prime lenses, we shoot at wide apertures, in this case f1.8. For me, it makes no sense to shoot at f4 while I can do f1.8. Studio photography is another topic where the shallow depth of field is not important. In fact, here in the photoshoot, I did some images at f2 and a few at f2.2. So I will be only testing these lenses at wide apertures, f1.8, f2, and f2.2. However, I will cover f2.8 and f4 in the sharpness test at the end of the video. Alright, I've been using Sony 85mm for the last 3 years and I know the lens very well. My first impression when holding Tokina lens is the extra weight and the larger glass diameter. Do these factors can make the lens any better? I don't know. I believe what I see in these sample images. Let's start first with bokeh. Usually I discuss bokeh in the middle of my videos, but here we got a significant difference between both lenses. Tokina features 10 elements in 7 groups and Sony 9 elements in 8 groups. Now in real world we got different results. See these images? Sony is on the left and Tokina is on the right. Do you see any bokeh difference? Eventually Tokina makes more pleasant bokeh. Although the bokeh is not a perfect circle, it is still way better than Sony 85mm f1.8. In fact, Tokina calls this lens bokeh monster. Here is another example. Check here. Now when you notice these kind of details, you will be interested to check every image. Do you agree with me? Tokina bokeh looks better here. And this is another example just moments after sunset. Now in portraiture, I had a good experience with both lenses. Although Tokina weighs more, I didn't really feel the extra weight on my camera. You may notice the extra weight if you carry a bunch of lenses in your backpack. So far, Tokina, including caps and lens hood, weighs 688 grams, 1.5 pound, whereas Sony is 428 grams, 15 ounces. Both lenses create a beautiful portraiture. I would be happy to save $200 if Tokina has the same image quality of Sony or better, even if weighs more. Now we'll show you a series of images and I want you to guess what's label A and label B, which lens is Tokina and which one is Sony. All my images are edited in Adobe Lightroom. In some of them, I completely changed the colors and mood. If you'd like to get some raw images, I will leave a link in the description. Feel free to check them yourself. Now what do you think? What's A and what's B? I will show you one more run. I'm teasing you, isn't it? Alright, label A is Sony and label B is Tokina. Both lenses are good so far. And by the way, the background I'm using here in my studio is from Kate Backdrop. They make high quality backdrops and ship them to your doorstep. Check their website, they have a bunch of options, and if you decided to buy one, use the coupon code OMA15 and get 15% off. Guys, I will turn the background light off and show you the raw background color. See? So in general, the autofocus performs well on both lenses, Tokina and Sony 85mm, even when the eye is outside the focus area. The 85mm focal length creates a beautiful shallow depth of field background. At f1.8, f2, and even f2.2, you feel the subject is totally isolated from the surrounding. For example, here I was shooting in the middle of the street, people and cars are moving in the background, and actually none of them showed in my images. Also, the 85mm lenses compress the background and make it look unique compared to other lenses. In this spot, I found a small brick wall, and I managed to make it fit nicely in the background, while keeping a good distance between the wall and the model, to get some of the shallow depth of field background. And this one is my favorite image from the photoshoot. Now we'll keep you enjoying some of the sample images from both lenses. Have a good time. And before jumping to the rest of the video, I would like to introduce you to my new Lightroom preset packs we launched earlier. I applied some of my presets to these images. If you like the mood I'm using here, the presets are on sale now. Each pack includes about 10 different presets that work with different situations. Head off to omagumrawi.com/store and get yours now. Now let's have a quick overview on both lenses. As I mentioned earlier, Tokina has a larger glass diameter. It comes with a 72mm filter size. The 85mm Sony features 67mm filter thread. And when having both lenses next to each other, actually there is no big difference in size. However, Tokina is made of metal, solid metal. The 85mm Sony, on the other hand, is mostly plastic with a metal vanity shell. Now, Tokina has no manual to autofocus switch button. The 85mm Sony got focus mode switch button and also custom button, which I have no use of it in the last 2 years. Both lenses have no optical steady shot and they rely on your camera in-body image stabilization. In addition, Tokina has a lowest aperture of f16. Sony can reach f22, but do you really need f22? Autofocus speed. So here we're testing autofocus speed on both Tokina and Sony in stills and videos. Both lenses have silent focus motors. So the first test is in still mode with continuous autofocus. I will start with Tokina 85mm f1.8. And as you see, the autofocus speed is phenomenal, pretty fast and snappy. The Sony 85mm lens also has the same autofocus performance in still mode. While in video mode, I see Sony autofocus speed is slightly slower. I have the autofocus settings set to fast and responsive on my Sony a7 III camera. So this is Tokina at f1.8. And now this is Sony at f1.8. I noticed that both lenses take about 1.5 seconds to adjust the focus when the subject is very close to the camera. Speaking of minimum focus distance, actually both lenses Sony and Tokina have 80cm 2.6 feet minimum focus distance. Although it sounds quite long, you can get some good close-up images like this one here. Chromatic Aberration. Both lenses, Sony and Tokina, claim that they implement some technologies to reduce chromatic aberration. Now Sony on the left and Tokina is on the right. Here is at f1.8. Now at f2. And this is f2.2. Most of the time, chromatic aberration only shows in heavy contrast areas. So when doing the usual testing routine, I noticed that Sony is about 0.1 stop brighter than Tokina. These minimal details do not make much difference, but worth the highlight. So for the sake of comparison, I will decrease all Sony images by 0.1 stop. Both lenses have a slight vignette at f1.8, and it diminishes when stepping up to f2. Okay, at f1.8, I feel Tokina has better sharpness in the center, while Sony is slightly sharper on the sides, which probably gonna be autofocus in portrait images. At f2, f2.2 and f2.8, also Tokina is sharper in the center. Now at f4, Tokina is slightly sharper than Sony all over the image, whether in the center, sides and corners. Also Tokina is better at f5.6 and f8. So at the end of the day, both lenses make good images. Now which one you should buy? If the extra weight is not an issue, consider Tokina 85mm. Save yourself $200 and get better bokeh and better build quality. The 85mm Sony f1.8 is lighter and makes good images as well. Let me know what lens you are interested in the comment. Thank you for watching guys, thumbs up if you found this very helpful, and bump the subscribe button for more camera gear reviews. This was Oma, and see you in another one.